Kia ora. Welcome to this little video that's going to guide you through some tests to see whether you are ready to run again. Now, I'll just preface this by saying even if you don't pass all of them with flying colours, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't start running, but what it does mean is that there might be things to work on alongside your running, and your running may need to build up more slowly so that your body can keep up with the rate of your running progression. Because what we don't want is for you to get injured when you start running. So after pregnancy, after birth, slow and steady wins the race here. It's all about that slow build up to make sure that you can achieve a consistent running habit without getting injured, and something that also is going to take into account your lifestyle, your family life, and how much time you can actually dedicate to getting out for a run. So there are 3 elements to this test: strength, balance, and impact. Now, most people will focus on impact, so that's your jumping up and down, and that's when you're probably most likely to notice things like leakage or any other symptoms. So when you go through these 3 tests, what you're going to be focusing on is whether there are any red flags or symptoms. And these can include things such as obviously leaking, but this is not just urine, it can also be fecal leakage, because that is all part of your pelvic floor strength, even farting. The next thing is whether you've got any joint pain, particularly in your knees and in your pelvis area, and if you feel any pressure in your pelvis area, in your vagina or in your anus. It could feel like a tampon falling out, it could feel like the pressure of something bulging in there as well, and those are things to be aware of because they may be a sign of prolapse and a sign that the pelvic floor isn't holding everything in correctly. The other thing I want you to look for is, and you probably won't notice it on these tests, but do be aware when you go out for a run, particularly if you are newly postpartum, whether you notice any bleeding, any abdominal bleeding after a run. If you do experience any side effects, red flags, do go and get them checked by a women's pelvic floor physio to make sure that your pelvic floor is operating efficiently and can handle the impact of running. So first of all, we'll start with the strength test. So what we are going to do, and I'll run you through these in the video, are a set of 4 exercises: a 1-minute wall sit, a 1-minute full plank, side planks, each side 30 seconds, and single leg bridges for 30 seconds. We'll then move on to the balance test. So you're going to balance on one leg, each side for 30 seconds each, and then you're going to do some single leg heel raises or calf raises, as you might have heard them called. And then finally your impact, hopping in place for a minute on both feet, single leg hops for 30 seconds, and then running on the spot for a minute. If you do experience any of those red flags I talked about, do stop and note them. Otherwise, if you can continue for those times and do all of those exercises, then you are ready to get out there and start running again, even if it is a run-walk program. As I said, slow and steady wins the race.